Alright guys, so welcome back, and we're starting off with the transmission. This is our little 5-speed. We want to get this thing cleaned up before we put it in the car. So we're not going to be hosing it off, we're just going to be kind of scraping it down because it doesn't really seem to have a bunch of oil on it or grease or anything like that. It just seems like stuck on dirt. But if you guys are trying to clean something that's really oily, and I've tried a bunch of those stuff from the auto parts store, like what's the name of that one that we would get? The
right stuff or whatever.
There's this one, super clean.
That stuff works pretty good.
That works pretty good, and also like the gunk one that works pretty good. But if you want something that's gonna really clean and be really strong, you can go and you can pick this up at Target,
99-cent store,
99-cent store, Dollar Tree, whatever. This stuff works 10 times better than any actual automotive degreaser that I've used.
It's not the brand, it's the fact that it's oven cleaner. It's so aggressive that it'll take the paint off if you're not careful. So don't put it directly on paint. But if you got parts that you want to get cleaned up, that's the stuff right there.
Just get some water, put this on there, let it sit. You can even, agitate, get a scraper or a wire brush, and with this stuff, it's gonna get pretty much almost everything off. I highly recommend it. Not sponsored. This is just an old backyard mechanic trick that my dad taught me way back in the day.
Yeah.
That we still do today.
Works better than any degreaser.
Yeah, really works better than any degreaser that I've tried out for automotive stuff. What you got in there?
Got a lot of sand and rocks. I want to get that all cleaned out. We can get the vacuum over here and try to get the nozzle of the vacuum in there too. This is kind of all painted. I mean, we don't really need to get in here too much. Just get out whatever's kind of gooped in here that doesn't belong there. This we need to save. Is it hooked in there? Oh, it's hooked on there, huh?
Yeah. It's still hooked in on this other side.
We'll leave it like that. Maybe spray this down with some carb cleaner in this area.
Alright, we're gonna get started on this. I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse, and we'll see how clean we can get just by scraping it up. We don't want to hose it down because we don't want to get any water in the transmission. Yes, I know we can put the axles in and it'll probably keep out most of it, but right now it's pretty chilly outside, so we're gonna try to stay inside and just use the scraper.
Wintertime.
The transmission looks a lot better. I think we're happy with the way it came out. We're gonna leave it just like this. Sure to make a mess. Alright, so we have a little engine, and I'm just gonna quickly go over and make sure that these main caps are torqued correctly, and same thing for the rods. Make sure these are all torqued correctly. And we do seem to believe, because my dad was taking a closer look at it, we seem to think that this is a rebuilt engine that someone put in the car. Because actually, I don't know, this Honda paint them like that, the way it's different in terms of paint, and this comes out pretty clean too. And he also found out like the little dots there, that one has 2 dots for number 2. This one has 3 dots, and same thing for the front and the back. Those are the reasons why we seem to think that this is rebuilt. And when we first started the car, it didn't really smoke at all. It ran super smooth. It was really quiet, no smoke. So we're just gonna make sure everything's nice and tight and torque it down. We're gonna put a new gasket on it, and that's gonna be it.
Hopefully we get lucky. Hopefully we get lucky.
Because I honestly didn't want to rebuild the engine if I didn't have to. Every car we usually rebuild an engine.
Yeah. but these are a little more pain in the ass.
We're used to like small block Chevy and the Fords, the 50s and 302s. We've done a handful of those.
Yeah, and these are just so hard to get parts for. Probably be the last cvcc motor we do.
I have it set at 27. That's good. Good.
Now we need to look up what those
What these ones
what
are?
the rod bearings, what the rod caps,
Let's show them the book.
rod caps show.
So right there, I was checking it at 27 foot-pounds because we have the book here. It says, for any guys who are building Hondas and don't have this information, this is important. It says right here, torque wrench settings. This is crankshaft bearing cap bolts. Come all the way over here. It says between 27 and 31 foot-pounds, and we started at 27, so we're gonna leave it there. So now we need to look for the rods, and that's the next thing that we're gonna check. This is connecting rod bearing cap bolts. We come over here. It says between 18 to 21 foot-pounds.
We'll do 18.
So we're gonna start off on the bottom end of that. We're gonna start off in 18.
Got some new electronic battery operated tools here. This thing's brand new on the market. Thing works great. And we got one of these. And then we got the regular drill, impact, and ratchet wrench. Pretty good stuff.
Very nice. Check this one.
Yeah, we could do that one. I wonder if you spin it over, you know, you'll get it in here, socket in there. We'll see.
You want? It should stop right there. Huh?
Yeah, that's good right there.
There we go.
That's good.
Very good.
Now it's ready for the bolt the pan back on and put on the new gasket. Look at that. Timing belt says Honda right on it. There's some Japanese writing around here somewhere. Kind of cool. I don't know where it is right now. But yeah, that's nice. Just clean this off. Try and get some of that stuff off there now that you turned it.
So checking the torque specs is just something that I wanted to do to just
Peace of mind.
peace of mind. Now I know, because we don't know what someone has done to this engine previously. We could start it up and run it for 10 minutes, the whole thing comes apart. We don't want.
Happen anyway.
I mean, it could still happen, but
That's our luck.
I wanted to check it regardless. So that's it for that. Now it's time for
Oil pan gasket.
a new oil pan gasket and stick that thing on there. You want to put some silicone on there?
I don't know. What does the book say? It shows you how to put the gasket on here.
So we're gonna get to that. So we are gonna be cleaning all this out, obviously, but I was kind of surprised to see these like little bumps on the lip here. I've never seen that before.
Maybe that helps it seal. That's pretty cool.
Does anybody know? Does anybody know what those are used for? Comment down below, because I've never seen that before.
I think it's there to help keep it from sealing. That's there to make it seal, push down on the gasket.
Well,
Give it strength.
Doesn't that oil pan get those metal rails that help clamp it down?
Yeah.
We gotta look for those.
That helps it. It's on there.
Oh, it's still on the
I
pan?
think that's part of it. I think it's on the backside.
Oh yeah, they're already on there. There's like a metal rail in there that helps clamp it down so you don't bend the pan. But yeah, we gotta clean this out. It's pretty dirty in there, for sure. Probably gonna end up spraying that out tomorrow with some brake clean. I gotta run to the auto parts store and buy more brake clean. But things are looking good with this little engine. So before we put the oil pan on, we did do a bunch of, we clean all the bolts, we clean the pan, we clean the inside of the pan, we clean the bottom of the block. We did all the boring stuff off camera because that would have been a lot of footage of us just cleaning bolts. That's the boring stuff we don't put on YouTube. So we got that silicone squishing out all the way around. Gives a pretty good, tells us that it's got a good seal. Looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I got the engine flipped back over and I have the valve cover taken off, and things in here look pretty decent. Everything's really dark for whatever reason, but there's no sludge. Everything looks clean for the most part, except the bottom end of this valve cover. This thing is very crusty in there. We're gonna get this thing cleaned up, and we believe we do have a gasket for this. We can take that out because it does have some sort of a breather on top. So we're gonna replace this, and it should be that. And we're trying to figure out where the rest of these gaskets go.
You gotta break out the book.
So that's what we're doing at the moment, and that's a very time-consuming, slow process. So we do believe that there's a gasket here for the cam hidden in there, and then we believe there might be one back here. And we're also going to be doing the rear main, which we have the big rear main, and I think those other two are these two top ones here. So we're going to take the distributor out, take this piece off, see what gaskets match up to go in this part. Then before we take off the belt and everything, we need to put the motor on TDC, make sure that cylinder number 1 is up, and we're gonna go from there. So today's another day. Me and my dad have decided that we're not gonna go down the rabbit hole on changing all kinds of seals on this thing. We're just gonna do the rear main. We already did oil pan. We're gonna do valve cover and like the baffles, stuff like that. But we're not gonna chase all the rest of them. We're not gonna do like this one here, or we try to get in there. We'll address it later if they start leaking while it's in the car. It's pretty small. It's probably not that bad to get to. But for the most part, we're gonna try to do the rear main seal right now. So my dad made these crates. His idea was to have the whole car up on 4 crates, fit the tire in here. But here's my dad.
What up?
We're just gonna take the engine from here and we're gonna drop it here. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Should be fine. We'll probably just leave the chain hooked up to it with some tension on it. Really dark. I don't know if they're gonna be able to see. It's so dark. But right, it came right out.
It came out loose a little bit.
This is not slow-mo, folks.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Popped right out. And here is our brand new one.
All the way around this thing.
I got a little bit of grease on my finger. We're just gonna wipe it in there for the rubber seal.
That way it doesn't burn up.
Yeah, like just all the way around. All right, that's good. I don't remember. I think it might have been. Well, this piece definitely stuck out further. See it moving.
That's it, probably right there.
So I do have something that I have not shown you guys. I've had it for maybe a month already. And we're gonna be using the original Honda stuff here. The, what is this called again?
Pressure plate.
The pressure plate and the flywheel. We had both of these surfaced because they're in good shape. I decided, wasn't my dad's decision. I decided that we're gonna resurface them and get them redone. And I got a new pilot bearing. And then I want to give a huge thanks to my contact at ACT and thank the company because they went out of their way to make me a new clutch disc. ACT. So as you can see, it has the springs in it instead of the rubber pieces. pretty cool. I'm excited to use it.
Okay.
Looking good still.
Yeah, there's like a little lip right there.
Yeah, it's not gonna go anymore. That's it.
Okay, so there you go. Now when that goes, it sits in that space right there. Okay.
So we're talking this little bearing is gonna sit in here.
Yep. Just helps it.
So if you guys have any comments or thoughts on the clutch, based on what I decided to do, using some of the Honda parts and get an aftermarket clutch disc, leave them down below, and I will link the company's website in the description as well. So I just temporarily zipped these things in with the electric impact gun. We did put some blue Loctite on all of these bolts, and then you saw in the time lapse I did staggered. We have the book, and the book says for us to do between 34 and 38 foot-pounds. So we're gonna do a two-step. We're gonna start at 25, then we're gonna jump up to 35, and we're gonna call it done.
There you go.
I think that's pretty good. That's what we normally do anyway with heads and stuff like that. Just step. And we have our Pittsburgh torque ratchet here.
The Pittsburgh.
Yeah, fancy. We do have another big one here, but this one,
I don't think it goes down that low,
yeah,
right?
no, it doesn't. But the problem with this one is it starts at 30 pounds, and we're trying to start at 25 pounds. And the Pittsburgh ones goes down to 10 pounds. We're probably just gonna stick with this one. We're not gonna change the other one. So while I'm in the back torquing the other bolts, my dad's just gonna hold the crank bolt here to try to stop the engine from spinning over, because it's gonna do that if we don't hold it. So I thought I was recording, but I guess I wasn't recording. But I have all of these bolts on for the plate. It's nice and flush. We have all the pins lined up. And I just kind of zipped them on with the electric impact gun. Nothing crazy, just a little zip. And then we checked them with the torque wrench. For these, it says between 7 to 10. Ours goes down to 10. That's the lowest it goes. So they're all torqued at 10. And we put blue Loctite on all of them. So should be good to go, right?
Good to go.
What's next?
We need the bolts for the... Oh, we got to put the throw-out bearing in the transmission. So we got to figure out how to mount the throw-out bearing and get all the bolts together so we can bolt the tranny to the block. That's what's next.
And that's what's next. I was the one that took the throw-out bearing out of the transmission, and
You get to figure it out.
I'm pretty sure I don't remember how to put it back in. But we'll figure it out. is another day, and we're doing the tedious job of looking for all of the nuts and bolts that we need for the brackets. Got Pops here. He's just bolting stuff on. We're looking for the bolts here. We have a bolt for here. And we also got the engine bay cleaned up a little bit more. Looking better. Threw some paint down. We also have our new intake manifold gasket. This is the correct one that we need, because we had ordered a set that had this one on there. So this is the one that we need. We're able to get our hands on one of these from Amazon, surprisingly. Came with this whole thing here. But we're just gonna use this from this set, and we're gonna try to take pieces from this set. I'm gonna be working on the valve cover right now. I gotta put the new gasket in. I'm gonna take this baffle apart so I can put those gaskets in, and I have them here too. I have them right here. I have the gasket sets for the baffle right here. Stuff for the valve cover. So we're just kind of pushing along, doing a little tedious stuff. We'll keep you guys up to date. So we're gonna take this top piece off because my dad's telling me there's a bunch of rat stuff in there.
Yeah. Poop and pee inside the intake right here. You can see it. You kind of see it in there. I want to get it cleaned out. See what's going on in there.
I'm not really sure if they can see very well, but maybe.
We'll get it cleaned out. Put back together again.
Hey, take it off.
See what happens.
How's it look? What's the backside look like?
I don't think there's anything on there, huh?
There's nothing there.
No, nothing there. But it's inside there, which goes into the motor from there. When it gets sucked in, it's going to suck all that pee and that poop in there into the motor. We don't want to do that.
Do you want to keep this?
I don't know.
Is it necessary?
It's a gasket of some sort because it heats up this thing. It needs to be separated. We could cut it down to size. It doesn't need to be that
That thing's
big.
kind of warm.
Yeah, it's still hot. Oh, there's the other stuff hat right there. Cool. So you guys know, I blew out the chamber there so that it's free flowing. No more flap. You don't need the flap anymore. It's kind of messed up anyways. So all this stuff is the sheet metal. All that from the inside.
Yeah, we did this on a previous one, but we need this one because it has the correct pattern here for the intake. For the other three, they have the other pattern that I showed, a different gasket.
This is an EB3, and the other ones were EB1, so they're totally different.
And as we
Look at where the rats chewed it. Look at where the rats ate it away right there.
maybe we'll have to try to find one of those, or
I mean, we got some other ones here. This one's really damaged. Look at that. I think we look at that thing. It's broken.
oh, yep. Now it is.
That thing is like no good. It's only a heat shield, you know. But you don't want to bolt that directly to the intake manifold.
Let's get some RTV Permatex stuff for the headers, the red one.
Hey, you never know.
We'll try it out.
Might have to.
Maybe we'll try that stuff out. I've never tried it before. I've been kind of curious. You want to try it?
No, I want to put one of these back on there, but we might trim it. We'll see what the other ones look like.
So I was digging through our parts bin that we got from a guy. I think we found him on Facebook Marketplace. And we do have a brand new in the box water pump for this car. The gasket and everything's on there. We're gonna put that on. We went out to the old junk engine that didn't have a head on it or a valve cover on it, and we went and picked up all the bolts so we could run all OEM hardware, and I cleaned them up. Anything else you want to say? We're gonna put the water pump on right now.
Yeah, and we're waiting. We're trying to see if
Yeah, we need to try to source one of those
we got
gasket.
a friend of ours thinks he might have one because that one's pretty well chewed up. So that's stopping us from putting the motor in the car because we don't want to put the exhaust manifold and the intake manifold in the car when the motor's already in there. So we want to put it all in at one time.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to put the engine in the car in this video. It's going to be in a future video. But finding all the nuts and bolts and trying to figure out where everything goes back together correctly, that's the hard part. That's what takes most of our time.
Yeah.
Taking things apart is pretty easy, but putting it back together takes twice as long.
And we got tons of nuts and bolts.
So we're always digging through these bins with nuts and bolts in them. Probably should have did a better job of labeling stuff, but
yeah, it's our fault.
It's our fault. It's okay.
And we're also trying to source a water neck, a thermostat housing. We need one of those too.
We don't have them?
We do have some, but they're kind of shady. I don't know. They're not really nice.
Kind of chewed up?
They're kind of chewed up.
Okay, so we have to look for one of those too.
Yeah, and the same guy that's going
But
to
we
find
can
that.
we can put this on when the engine's in the car.
Yeah, that we could do in the engine of the car. But the intake and exhaust manifold gasket.
Yeah, that's a must.
We need this dumb thing here. So
right now we're gonna get that water pump put on real quick.
fits.
Yeah. So the rest of the water pumps, for some reason, they're a little more shallow here on the other ones that we have. So I had to go take some more bolts off of one of our other engines because we needed some longer bolts. I think I'm gonna use the real. All right, good to go.
Don't be going Magilla Gorilla on there. Just tighten them up. Good, it spins up. Doesn't touch nothing. Perfect.
Looking good. Yeah. It's always exciting when you see new parts going on.
Where's the crank?
And I'm painting the crank pulley right now. So, you know, things take time, but that's going to be the end of this video. I want to appreciate you guys all watching. Leave your comments and thoughts down below. We'll be posting more. Sorry it took so long for this video to get out. And next video, we'll be putting the engine in the car and then button everything up, try to make this thing run. This is my brother-in-law, Alex. He has this, what year is it?
2015 Chevy SS.
He has a 2015 Chevy SS with like headers, and it's got a cam in it and all kinds of stuff. He's having some problems right now. It's not really running correctly, and the guy that he normally takes the car to, he's kind of booked up, so he doesn't really have any time available for him to look at it at the moment. So me and my dad are just kind of poking around and see if we can find out the issue, because we're car people. He's got the Nitto tires on there. The slicks. So we currently have number 1 spark plug out, and the electrode where that little thing goes over, I don't know what that little thing is called, but the piece on the spot on the where the spark goes, I think that's called the electrode. That little piece that goes over was kind of over a little bit. It wasn't center of the electrode, so we're not entirely sure if that's the issue. Probably not, but we don't know how many miles he has on it. And I think he got stock plugs and put them in this when it has head work, cams, or a cam, fuel injectors, and all kinds of stuff like that.
How did you test that?
You did the little wiring. So you put the wiring into the spark plug wire, and then the other one's the spark plug, and then inside is the bulb, and it tells you the current.
If that one's off, then you gotta check the rest of them.
Let's get to put this one back in there, and then we'll look at the next one to see how in comparisons it is to that one.
So he's telling me that he looked online that it was supposed to be gapped at 40, and spark plug number 1 that we checked was gapped at 35. So I'm not sure if we're gonna check all the rest of them or if he is, but now you gotta check all the rest of them.
What year is it again?
15.
2015 Chevy SS spark plug gap. The owner's manual says 43. Okay, now it's 40. Here, you want to put that one back in?
Just had it.
I mean, that's not going to keep it from running. That's not going to make it so it won't run right. You know?
I mean, if they're all bad.
But it's in range. From 37 to 43.
What was it?
46. No, 36. Somewhere around 36, 37. I made it to 40. Take that thing out of there. We'll clean. Let's see if we can clean that out. Hey, now go spray some brake cleaner in there.
You guys can see that.
Get that thing out of there.
It's not what it's supposed to look like.
Huh?
There's like a piece of metal there, like blocking it or
Yeah,
something.
it's like something in there.
Yeah.
I think that's
You might have more than one misfire.
yeah, that, you know what that is? That's the lube that you put on there. What is that stuff called? The lube, you know, for the aluminum threads. I can't think of the name right now.
You think that's what it is?
Anti-seize. That's full of anti-seize in there blocking it. Go get the brake cleaner. Let's clean that out.
Recording.
Well, somehow, it's for some reason there's full of anti-seize in there. That ain't supposed to be in there like that. So I'm not quite sure it'll block the spark, but
It's probably best not to have it on
the
there.
spark plug's definitely not touching the wire, so it's in between there, messing up the conductor. So we'll clean it out, and we'll be good to go.
How's it looking there?
Now you can see it. You can see the.
Oh yeah, you can
now
see
you can
the.
see the wire now.
I don't know if they're gonna be able to see it, but
The camera guy can't see it. But now you can. Now that'll be better. Try and take it out.
Just speaking to the camera, making sure.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
It's all good. We run into more problems and more problems.
I think it's the guys working on the car.
Make sure you don't get your mechanic.
So this is another spark plug wire, and this thing is pretty caked on the inside with anti-seize. You can probably see right there just a little bit. It's just full of it, which is not right. We gotta try to clean that stuff out.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be in there, that's for sure. That's not where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be on the threads, not on the tip of the spark plug. It may have just been a mistake somebody else made. We don't know. We didn't work on the car, so just helping them clean it up a little bit.
Why are you laughing?
Because I'm not trying to put him on blast. This bonehead right here fucked it all up.
It was on his mistake.
What's the name of the shop? No, I'm joking.
Home Depot 101.
Home Depot 101.
Oh, this plug is... Oh, yeah, that's a fucking lot in there, dude.
Maybe they're doing this to keep you coming back, bro.
Look at that.
Make some money.
Nah, that was my mistake.
Can you see it?
Yeah, all that gunk in there.
It's a
Yeah.
big giant
They can't see it.
anti-seize booger.
Let me see if they can show it to them.
Anti-moco.
They might be able to see, like, right there, maybe.
Here it is.
So we checked all the spark plugs, all the gaps, cleaned the spark plug, like the tip of it, and then where the spark plug gets plug wires, we clean all that stuff too, because it was full of all of that anti-seize. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start it up and see if it runs any better, see if it sounds any better. Go ahead, hit it. Still sounds weird.
It was smoking.
You saw smoke?
You didn't see the smoke?
Oh, that's just because we touched it. You're touching the pipes. It's okay.
Sounds like it's missing. So you might have a bag.
Now I saw a spark shoot out of there.
Yeah, spark's not all running right.
Yeah.
Hold it there next to it. It should shock you. Did it shock you?
Nah.
You can just hear it.
But the car didn't change. It's still running the
Let it
same.
take it away. It's got a dead cylinder. Maybe. They both pull something. Grab the next one.
So right now we're pulling plug wires to see if the engine's gonna run any different, because it does sound like it's missing. So we're trying to figure out which one it is.
Damn, I put this shit in hard.
That spark plug out, it didn't change. It ran the same.
Did nothing.
Did nothing.
You know what a towel would be fine? You want to cut?
No, we can do it with the towel.
Got you?
Yeah.
It's only going to shock you when you're close to that. Put it close to it and see if it's fired. Yep, you're running like on 6 cylinders.
Yeah.
Okay, you can put it back on if you want. Like, turn it off and then put it back on.
You want to turn it off?
How you turn it off?
Push the button.
Just shocked up.
Did it hurt?
Yeah. I feel like I got tased.
That hurt.
Yeah.
So we pulled 2 spark plugs, or yeah, basically the
Fucking
spark plug
fingers
wire. Pulled 2 of them, and the engine didn't do anything. Still ran the same.
Still ran the same.
Yeah, fingers tingling.
Yeah.
You think there's a dead cylinder?
Yeah, it's like you have a dead cylinder or two. Something's not, it's not firing. The plug, the coil pack is working, but when you remove the spark plug, the car should almost want to like shut, like, blah, 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 like
Yeah,
shut, want to shut off. It didn't do nothing. You did that to another car, take that wire off, it's almost going to want to shut off. Or run just like your car does now. It sounds like you have like, almost like you have a dead cylinder. And it was those 2 ones that had the oil on them, right?
Number 5. That was number
But there was
3.
2 of them with oil, right?
Yeah, 5 and 7. I mean, we can remove the fuel rails and then try to open up the head to see if we can find anything in there. A bad fuel, even a fuel pump, fuel filter, or a fuel injector.
It'll cause that.
It'll cause that?
It cause that. It could, but it's almost like you have a dead cylinder, man. But it could have a dead cylinder if it's not getting any fuel too, because then that cylinder's not, it's firing for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it gonna be clogged up that bad where you're not getting anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because if it was a dead cylinder, the car wouldn't want to turn on, right?
Right. No, it'll run.
It'll still run.
It'll still run?
Oh yeah, it'll still run. It'll still run with the rod hanging out of the block if it's not stuck. But it's gonna sound like your car does.